All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome, all who may or may not be here. What's up, Miko? Thanks for being here. I'm trying something a little different today, actually. Usually I stream at night, my time, and then I realized that over 50% of the people watching my videos are either in India or the UK. So that means it's like 5 a.m., 2 a.m. your time. So I'm trying something a little bit different. That's why it's bright in here, not dark and vibey. It is currently 10:45 a.m. But figured I'd try it out. Thanks for being here, Miko. How's your day today? We are going to talk about, let me see, about the whole Apple copying Pixel thing here in just a second. But I kind of want to get going and stuff first. I've got a new microphone I'm picking up today too, so there's that. I'm pretty excited. Okay. Again, I promise one day I'll actually have music for the background. I can't find any that doesn't cost an arm and a leg just to play in the background. So let me open this up really quick because this is kind of something I'm hoping to try. This is like a tech roundup. Just random, tech stuff that's been happening throughout the week. Pieces of drama or things that were announced or bugs that are happening, like stuff like that. I want to have a place, where we can kind of discuss all that and not really control the narrative, but at least get some like bounce some ideas off each other. And like, is this actually a problem? Does the Pixel 7 Pro actually get scratched really easy on the back? How's the battery on the watch? Stuff like that. So let me actually open up my my other page because I had it open here a second ago and I accidentally closed it. And honestly, if it doesn't work out as well doing the stream now, that's okay. We'll just try another time. I'm kind of playing with it and see what time works best for you guys. Because to me, it's not as big of a deal, honestly. I am off today, but I do have class here in like 2 hours. So obviously it can't be like a super long stream, but I figured I'd, sit down and say hello. So the first couple things I want to talk about are the Pixel Watch battery life, which is kind of it feels like a dead horse to me at this point. Beater, yes. Yeah, I know. It looks really cool. But what we're that's the idea that we're going to talk about today. Is Apple? Well, it's okay. So it was a concept. The photo was a concept, but the actual the actual idea that's actually releasing in 2023, and that didn't get uncovered until after, you know, the last couple of weeks. So I just was to see what you guys thought about it, and I want to, I got some stuff that I want to share as well. So it's a little bit clickbaity. I'm trying to find the fine line between captivating and clickbaity. So maybe I went too far on the other side, but yeah, we'll talk about it. I promise. The first thing though is the Apple Watch, or sorry, I got Apple in my head now. The Pixel Watch battery and how it has been sometimes good and sometimes bad for me. I appreciate you being here though, Peter. Everyone actually, but yeah, appreciate you guys chatting it up. So the Pixel Watch battery has been a little bit hit or miss for me. Again, this is all going to come out also in the actual review, which I'm shooting today after class too. I'm going to go downtown in the city I live in, where there's like a whole bunch of old buildings, and do some photography and video and do some, B-roll and all that stuff. So the full review that I'm going to do, and all my thoughts are going to be out next week. But at the moment, it hasn't been as bad as people have complained about. It hasn't been as good as my Fossil Gen 6, which does have Wear OS 3 now. Very excited about that. And it hasn't been good as my Apple Watch Series 7. It's probably the equivalent of like an Apple Watch Series 3 or 4 when it came out. You can't like, okay, so if I were to charge it to 100% and sleep in it and then get up the next morning and go to work, I would probably be out of battery by like 4 or 5 p.m. So when all things considered, say 11 p.m. to like 5 p.m. the next day, that's a solid 24 hours. And I have always on display on. I have, I haven't turned things off. I don't use it, some special way. I don't disable everything, none of that stuff. So it's okay. I'm not overwhelmingly impressed, but it's okay. You know what I mean? There was one day where I paired it and then I got the Pixel 7. That's a cool story. I did not expect to get it actually. And I ended up having a trade-in at Best Buy, and then they gave me another $300 on top of the trade-in price. So I got it for like $140 and I got a $200 Best Buy gift card. So I was super happy about that, but I didn't expect that. So I paired this the day before with my 6 Pro and then erased it at work and repaired it with my 7 Pro when I got it. So it like burned through a bunch of battery in the middle of the day and I didn't have a charger. So like that day it didn't last. But besides that, I mean, it's been pretty good actually. Do any of you guys have a Pixel Watch yet? Is that like a sentiment that you would agree with, or have you had better or worse results? I also haven't done any workouts yet in it either, so. It's low very fast when it's off. Interesting. Wait, which Fossil do you have? Because the Gen 6 for me actually, what usually I could get almost 2 days out of it. Like by the second day at like 6-7 p.m. I was down to like 12%, like on low power mode. I couldn't do much with it, that kind of thing. But the Gen 6 I thought I was very happy with the battery on the 6 actually. Oh, I got you. Okay. The Gen 5, I did like the 5e. I had that one as well. I didn't have the Sport, but I did have the 5e, and I did like that one. I think the 6 is slightly better battery than that, if I remember correctly. So it's probably, the Pixel Watch is probably pretty similar to the 5e, honestly. The other thing, though, is it doesn't take very long to charge up. Same as the Fossils. Like the Fossil, you can toss on the charger for 20 minutes while you're in the shower, and you'll get like a 70% boost. You know what I mean? It's not quite that quick with the Pixel Watch, but like if I would, for example, the first night I went to sleep at probably 80-ish% and I woke up at about 40-ish%. So not great. But every other day since then, I've gone to sleep at, 90, 100%, right around there, and then woke up at like 70%. You know what I mean? So it's been getting better. So I think it's the whole as it learns, because it's a Google product and it uses AI and all that stuff. As it learns how you use it, it's gonna, get a little better. I think that's what it seems like anyway. The other thing is, if you pop it on the charger for like I said, like 20 minutes while you're in the shower, something like that, you'll probably get a good 50-60% boost. That's typically what I'm getting. So I just know that when I wake up in the morning, I don't wear it until you get in the shower. Just stick it on the charger as I'm doing other morning stuff, and then you start the day at 100%. Which is how I did it with the Fossil and the Apple Watch and everything else too. I would usually charge it in the in-between time after I wake up and when I leave for work. That was the most convenient time, because you can usually get a full 100% or close to 100%. And you can still get all your full day and your sleep time in. So that's what works best for me. Yeah, that's true. I can't sleep with the Fossil either. It's very big and very bulky. That's one thing I really like about this is you don't really feel it on your wrist. I actually thought this morning that I had plugged it in or like put it on the charger already, and I looked down and it was still on my wrist. So like it's very light. I really like it. I'm really enjoying it. The only other downside I found is that it is small. I do wish it was a little bit bigger. So hopefully next year they'll do the thing like remember the Samsung, what was it, the Active 2, how they had like a smaller and a larger, but it was very clean, very polished, kind of like this. I hope they do that next year or whenever they re-up the watch, because they don't necessarily have to do that every year. What's up, Paul? Yeah, I agree. Momo, yeah, I agree with that too. Yes, it's small for me. That's the only thing. Sorry guys, I got like some allergies today. Still trying to get past that. Apologies. But yes, I agree. It is small. It's not small in the way that like I feel like I can't interact with it, because it works really well and it's very snappy, and it's definitely not 90 hertz or anything like that. Hey, what's up, Alex? So it works very, very well. As you can see, I've got my forest green vibe going on. Actually, I don't know if you can tell from from the camera. But as far as that goes, it's been okay. Like it hasn't felt too small to like interact with. But it has felt small because I just have very big wrists, and it feels like it's, I don't know, it just feels small. Now technically it's the same size as the Fitbit Sense. It's just round instead of square. And that one was a little small as well, but I wasn't mad, because it was supposed to be kind of a sleeker look. So I'm not completely, I mean, I'm not upset by it. I'm not super wowed by it. I'm not getting like, this is not like the Apple Watch Ultra of Google. You know what I mean? So I'm not overly impressed, but you have no idea how long I've been waiting for a Pixel Watch, and I'm very, very excited to have it still. And I think it's a great first gen, honestly, because obviously the first gen for everything has some kinks to work out. I mean, look up the first gen Apple Watch. Battery was okay, but the screen was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. No sleep tracking, like none of that stuff. No 911, or no emergency services. Yes, exactly, Paul. I'm not $350 wowed. I still don't I'm still happy I bought it. I don't regret buying it or something like that. But yeah, $350 I wouldn't say is too expensive, because I think it's a good first gen product. You just have to know it's a first gen product. But yeah, that's a decent way to put it. But yeah, think about the first Apple Watch. Think about the first iPad. Remember how thick the first iPad was? Now again, these are all way in the past, because Google wasn't making hardware back then to the same degree they are now. So there should be some more, there should be some like industry learned knowledge, but at the same time, it's still a first gen product, So I'm not upset by it. I would still spend $350 on it. I'm actually going to buy the silver one too, because I'm a watch guy anyway. So even if it's not a smartwatch, I've got multiples. I mean, you should see my my Facebook marketplace searches. I'm always searching for like fossil watches that no one's using anymore, and they're like $50 on Facebook Marketplace, buying them up. But yeah, so far it's probably, I'm gonna say like an 8 out of 10, because I'm just really excited to see the new design and a new form factor. Probably for the average person that's not like a super fan is going to be probably a 6 or a 7. Now the second gen definitely will be better than this. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it so far. And I'm going to do a whole video on it too. And we're going to compare with the Apple Watch tracking, and we're going to compare with Fitbit sleep tracking and workouts, and the Galaxy Watch and all that stuff. So that's all coming as well. But this is just kind of my preliminary thoughts, because it's been in the news. It's been on Twitter. So The only downsides, again, to recap, are size, it's a little small, and the battery is a little short, which is what we've heard before. But it's nothing catastrophic. Momo says, everyone I know loves smaller watches. That's why they start with the small one. I'm one of the ones who loves bigger watches. That's fair, because I like bigger watches too. But if you think about accessorizing, and technically a watch is considered jewelry. I mean, by some people, accessories, jewelry, that kind of thing. Usually, excuse me. Usually that's more of a female driven market. I don't know if that's the case with this, but I mean, that seems to be the case. I mean, go walk into a Target, walk into a Walmart, walk into anywhere that sells any sort of fashion items or clothes, and compare the size of the men's section and the women's section. The women's is going to be triple the size. You know what I mean? So just as an industry, that's probably a safer bet. And that's probably why they started with a smaller one. I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. Yeah, so. Any other thoughts about the Pixel Watch? Thank you, everybody, for being here, too. We're at 20 people. I'm still surprised every time. But it makes me happy. I think I may combine this, actually, with my actual Pixel Watch review. Hopefully you can see it. I've got a little bit of a delay on my demo. But you can see that it's running Wear OS 3. Oh, $10. Kingdom Within, thank you. I appreciate it, man. That every day I get closer and closer to being able to do this as a full-time job, and every single one of these little donations that you guys do, not little, I guess, but like each one of them that somebody chooses to give away, little more of in like a how do you say that? Like an endearing term. But thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here, Kingdom Within. It's a cool logo too, actually. I like that. What's up, Zahaib? You're laughing at Apple. Hey, everyone's welcome here. But yes, if anybody deserves to be laughed at. I'm kidding. But yeah, Fossil Gen 6 has Wear OS 3 on it as well now. Really, really cool. I literally did a whole factory reset so it would trigger the update last night. I was so excited. I bought this thinking, because again, I'm a watch guy anyway, so like I wore this almost every day. This, and I started the Galaxy Watch, but I haven't liked that it's a little bulky. But I bought this like a year ago, at least, if not like a year and a half ago. So I was hoping to get Wear OS 3 on this like 6 months ago and play around with it, do a video. And then it just didn't happen. I bought this because I knew this Wear OS 3 would come before the Pixel Watch, and it was the other way around. So joke's on me. Thanks so much, man. Yeah, I mean, I really hope so. I've been shocked, actually. I mean, I know it's not probably like super, not polite, but to say so. But I mean, most of this is from ads. But since I've been monetized, I'll share this with you guys because I mean, I trust you. And this is supposed to be sort of a very open and very honest, down to earth kind of back and forth. But my current estimated revenue as of 2 days ago is $200, which is incredible to me. So like, I appreciate it so much that you guys are willing to help support and help me kind of get to this goal that I've made for myself. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really appreciate it. Zahaib, the battery is not terrible. It's probably like 70% of what I would expect. You can't get like 2 days out of it. I charged every night anyway. I never left it off the charger for more than a day, no matter what watch it is, except maybe an Apple Watch, because I don't really do much with my Apple Watch. It kind of just sits there. Oh, nice. I mean, $100 is like $100 is still $100. Like I was so excited. Like I only got monetized. I got monetized on the 9th. So 9 days. It's only been 9 days. That's crazy to me. It feels like a month. But like that blew me away. That like, I mean, like I do this because I enjoy doing it. I would like to make money from it because then I can do what I love. But you know what I mean? Like I don't do it because I'm trying to make more money than my current job. I do fine in my current job. And that actually gets me early access to devices and stuff. So you know, I'm not mad at that. But yeah, congratulations, man. That's super cool. Yeah, the Pixel Watch battery isn't great. But we were talking before, and I was saying the best place to charge it is when you wake up in the morning, like when you're taking a shower or making breakfast or whatever. Let it charge up to 100%, and then start your day, and you'll be able to get through your day and your sleep time with that. And also, do you see the processed pic on the viewfinder of Pixel 7? Um, which one? Like the one that I posted on YouTube, or is this someone else? Is another thing you're talking about? Nice. That's awesome. Again, like the amount of people that have said that too, that specific thing, that makes me very very happy because the world is missing out on positive pixel content. So the more I can, do that at all, I'm happy. I wasn't even making money off of it at that point. You know what I mean? I mean that's I'm actually curious what that would have been. It's like 200,000 views right now. But yeah, yeah, that makes me happy. I'm glad you got what color did you get? Let me see. Pixel Watch battery, and then the scratching, the scratching thing. It's got some dust on it. I don't have any scratches on mine yet. I mean, I'm sure I'll get some at some point, but I don't have anything on the camera housing. It looks really good still. It may just be, I don't know if it's a specific creator or the way they're, if I haven't seen how somebody is treating their device, I kind of take it with a grain of salt. Same at work. Because I mean I work in cell phones and troubleshooting and trying to figure out what's wrong with people's devices and stuff. So I haven't seen any scratches on this one yet. Oh, hang on, my manager texted me. Sorry, my manager asked me a question. Let me see. Zuhaib, no, I meant when you are shooting pictures, do you see the same picture that comes out after processing? No, most of the time not. At this, like if you're zooming in, if you're doing anything like that, then no, it'll take a second to process like normal. But the usually like with the ultra wide or something like that, it looks pretty much the same. I mean, the processing at this point is tuned, is fine tuned enough that it looks very very similar, if not the same. So it's kind of nice actually being able to just look at the viewfinder and get a projection of what it's going to actually look like when you take the picture. Oh, me too. Kingdom Within says I'm in love with the Pixel 7 Pro 4K 60, so smooth, and I got the hazel. Nice. I I was going to get the white, but I've gotten the white every year for like every Pixel, so I decided to do something a little bit different. Get the black, but yeah, the black is super sleek. I really like it. And it actually doesn't show fingerprints as bad as you would expect. Like you can still see them obviously, but like it's not nearly as bad as you would expect, right? So I'm happy with it. Hey, YouTube, if I could have YouTube as my full-time job, I would be the happiest boy in all the land. I could buy my own house at some point. I could live where I want. I wouldn't have like a boss or a schedule or like all that stuff that, you know, people nagging at me even though I do good work. That kind of thing. Welcome, Scott. Thanks for being here. Bought the Pixel 7 blindly without any bigwig reviews. Your content positivity helped for my order. Yes. Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. I love that. That's honestly, that's my favorite thing so far that's come out of these videos is hearing the positive reactions people have heard to it and kind of the metaphorical like sigh of relief. People are like, finally, I can see the video. Like, I don't like, I like the bigwig reviews, kind of like what you said, but like they almost never show like video quality. They don't do audio testing. Like a lot of them don't do that. Lou later used to, or Unbox Therapy used to do that. He would like hold it up to the microphone. You could hear the speakers as best you can and stuff. And he would compare it with something that was already out. So assuming, you know, you've already heard that, you would kind of have an idea what it sounds like. So that was cool, but I haven't seen that in a while. Thanks, Kingdom. And then again, I feel like it's going to start sounding fake at some point, but I really do appreciate all the, you know, all the positivity and, and the love from everybody. Zahaib, the like the photos or the wait, hang on, I think I missed something. Or the battery. What's up, Igor? Nice. Where are you from? That was actually the goal. That's the whole goal of this stream is I'm trying something a little earlier because I realized that half of I was looking at my like little YouTube analytics because I was like, okay, where is everyone watching from? Because I always stream at like 9 p.m. after I get home from work because I have an hour drive. And then I realize everyone's like half the people are in like India and like the UK, and that it's like 5 a.m. there. So of course you're gonna miss it. So I'm trying to do something a little different. Oh, nice. I actually, this is probably gonna sound weird, but I really like Utah. I've been out there. I love all the space out west. I miss it out there, if I'm being honest. I used to live in California. I didn't live in Nevada, but I really want to. Yeah, my uncle lives in Kansas, so I've been out there a lot. I miss it out there. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Igor. Glad to see you. As well as Shift and Alistair. Thanks for stopping by, man. Oh, Canada. Okay. Where in Canada? Yeah. I have seen pictures of Zion National Park, and I have never been there, unfortunately. But it looks amazing. That's my next goal. Either that one or let me think. It's Yellowstone. I've been to Yosemite, but not Yellowstone or Zion. And I actually haven't been to. I drove through the Salt Flats, but I haven't been there. Igor, nice. You got your Hazel 256 today. Nice. How are you liking it? Oh, okay, nice. I think I'm trying to remember the only place I've been. Unfortunately, it's been a while. It was like 2012. But I was in Montreal and I was in Sherbrooke and I was in what's the other one? I don't remember what the other city was off the top of my head. But then I lost my passport card and I just have never replaced it. And I haven't really had the money to go out again anyway. So Alistair, well, I'm glad you could join. It's probably much easier in the evening, right? Like that feels like peak streaming time to me is evening, but that might just be me. Yeah, I loved Montreal. I mean, I was only there for like a weekend or a week, or I can't even remember exactly, but um, I went to the, was it the Saint Juan Oratory, I think, and that was amazing. That was incredible. I wish I had my Pixel taking some pictures then, but that was before Pixel existed, so I had my iPhone 4 or something crazy. Yeah, I don't either. I had my passport card, but I want to get my actual passport. What's up, Bjorn? Thanks for coming in. Look at that badass triangles logo next to his name. That's so cool. I'm still so proud of that. See, Scott, that's something I would love to do. Like I was talking about, I think last week, is like travel vlogs, but I'm using the phone that I'm testing. So in the travel vlog, you're seeing battery levels, you're seeing, pushing it to its limit on in like extreme environments. Like if I go to Zion National Park, if I go to Virginia City, Nevada again, and look at the mining town and the graves and whatever. If I go to Montreal again and use it the whole day, stuff like that. You'll be hearing audio tests, you'll be hearing video tests. So I would love to do that. Bjorn, where are you from again? Oh, wait, like Delaware? Momo, nice. Toronto. I think. Let me think. I always get this mixed up. It's not. It's not Toronto. It's. I forget. It's like the most common place people go if they're from like upstate New York. So it's not Ontario. It's not. It's not Montreal. Obviously, that's farther north. I keep wanting to say it starts with a C, but I don't know why I'm blanking on it. Oh, nice. Wait, what time is it in Germany? No, farther north than Niagara Falls. It's let me think. This is really bothering me now. Quebec. Quebec. It wasn't a C, it was a Q. I don't know why I thought it was a C, but Quebec. Oh, nice. Bjorn, so I'm sure it's easier to. Yeah. Quebec City. Quebec City. Yeah, you are correct. That was a cool city too, honestly. I didn't get to spend as much time there. Bjorn, I'm assuming it's easier. It's probably a lot more comfortable for you being able to watch in like the evening, right? Because here it's like 10 a.m. or it's 11:30 in the morning. So I'm doing a kind of a different stream, testing out different times and seeing what works for everybody. Igor, yes, I agree. Photos are really light years away ahead of the 13 Pro Max or 13 Pro. Same camera, I guess. Um, iPhone video is still really, really good and very difficult to beat. I'm not even sure if the Pixel 7 Pro would beat it. I feel like it would, but I actually don't have one I can try. Usually iPhone's downfall is exposure. Usually it's not quite true to life colors in video, and the exposure is pretty bad in my experience anyway. Again, I have not had like a main iPhone for a while, but I agree. iPhone is boring. That's honestly that's kind of what got me into Pixel. Actually, I was like, this is the 7 Plus. I've had the 6 and the 6S. It's all the same thing. what else is out there? Like, I just went into a Verizon and I was like, hey, can you just tell me like what else you have? I'm not even sure what I'm looking for. I just know I'm kind of bored with this and I don't really want to spend $900 on the same phone. Alistair, I am from Virginia, United States. So it's like southeast. You could take a plane right over the water and be in, well, you'd have to go north to be in like the UK, but the Nexus 5. Nexus 5 was a good one. I liked the 5X better because it had a fingerprint scanner, but I actually never had that one like as like a daily driver device. Unfortunately, I missed out on all that. My first introduction to Android as like an actual user was the original Pixel XL. And I got it in white, obviously. And I don't even mind the white bezels on it, honestly. The black is obviously better, but the white wasn't bad. What's up, Deepak? Yeah, the 5X. The 5X was really nice. I mean, it still holds up pretty well today, honestly. I mean, obviously the processor is laggy and kind of slow, but I mean, it's got RCS integration. It's got the new Google Photos updates. It's got Google Pay. It's got Google Wallet now. Like, it's got all the apps are still updated. So, because I've got one sitting around somewhere. Ooh, nice. Did you use oh, what do you call it? That one that brings it brings Android 12 to older devices. And again, I'm blanking on what it's called. You guys are getting a really spacey me today. Sorry. Alistair, I've been planning to buy Pixel 7, Pixel 7 Pro. Can you suggest me advantages and disadvantages? Versus like them versus each other? Like the 7 versus the 7 Pro, or like the 7 versus like what you have now or what you would buy instead? Oh, Lineage OS. Deepak, that's the one. Lineage OS. I've always wanted to try it, but I don't really understand rooting and stuff. And I actually just got myself a PC like a couple months ago, and I just haven't tried it yet. So I chose the 7 Pro because of the telephoto lens. It was worth it for me to get that. Plus, I got a really good trade-in deal. But the 7, I'm not gonna lie, the 7 is a much better size, and it comes in cooler colors, and it's a little smaller. I mean, I like big devices, but the 7, and it's got a flat screen. Like when you hold the 7, it's really, really good. I think that's the main device for everybody. If you want an extra bump in like screen specs and camera specs and slight battery bump, I would get the Pro. But if you don't care about those things, I would definitely go with the 7. I think you'll be really happy, especially for the price. Deepak, I actually have never used a custom ROM. I'm not going to lie. I probably wouldn't do it on my custom device or on my personal device. I've had friends that did it and they would play it. And like my brother was really into like jailbreaking iPods back in the day and stuff. So I personally would not do it on my primary device. I would have a second one. What's up, Rajveer? Is it vloggable? It definitely, like, you mean like battery and camera and stuff? It definitely is, if that's what you mean. I set my screen to 144 because you can set it to a higher standard now, and I literally didn't even notice a difference. I couldn't tell you. Like if you set one up that had 1080 and one that said 1440, I couldn't tell you which one was which. So I downscaled it again. I've been very, very happy with it. And the battery has been really good, actually, to the point where usually I'd have to charge right around 3 to 4 p.m. because I mean, I usually leave the house at like 82-ish%, 82, 85. and then I spend the day using it because I work in a cell phone store. So I usually end up just sticking it on the charger at like 45, 42% around 3, 4 p.m. And then just boosting back up to like 65. And that, is fine for the rest of the day. But this one, I have not had to do that. And if I do charge it throughout the day, it's not till like 6:30. And I'm at like 40, 42%. Alistair, I have not tested games yet, actually. I'm going to. I have never played Genshin Impact, but I know people always ask to be tested, so I may try. I'm gonna try Minecraft as well. Minecraft probably is not going to tell you a whole lot because it's so light. It runs on everything. But if like rendering videos and editing videos is any sort of comparison, it does that pretty well. It does that very well, actually. The only time I get like lag and whatever is if I load like 6 video clips into Adobe Rush on the phone and I'm doing like minuscule cuts and I'm putting like a audio underneath and all that stuff. Nice. Welcome back, Kingdom. I don't drink coffee, but I do drink Red Bull. It's the cure for everything. Well, also whiskey is too, but that's a whole different drink. Oh yeah. Rajveer, the Pixel 7 camera is 100% vloggable. I'm still shocked to this day at how loud the microphone is and how like how well it picks up your voice and blocked everything else out. It doesn't even block everything else out. That's the interesting thing, is that usually if like Alexa, when it's listening to you, has this really aggressive thing where it specifically picks out the frequency of your voice and it blocks everything else out so it can hear you. That's usually the technology that goes into this. And it doesn't do that. It just accentuates your voice so it sounds like you're talking really close to a microphone. Like in that one video where like the Harley was like driving past and it was super loud and you could still hear me over the Harley. I couldn't even hear myself over the Harley. That's why I stopped talking in the video. But apparently I didn't need to do that. So I've been very, very impressed, especially with the microphone. And that's usually something we didn't get except on an iPhone. I've been using iPhones to record audio ever since probably 2011. See you later, Bjorn. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of your evening, sir. Glad to see you. Thanks for all the support and everything. I hope you're enjoying the wallpapers too. I've got a whole bunch more I need to sort through. See you later, Igor. Thanks for being here. I appreciate all you guys. Gilbert, yeah, thanks for being here. Gilbert, I missed your message before. But yeah, I mean that's fair. I have been looking forward to a Pixel Watch ever since like my original Pixel. Like I've even got pictures of like my Fossil or not Fossil, but my Samsung Gear S3 Frontier at the time. You know what I mean? Wishing that I was like, I wonder what a Google Watch would look like. So I've been looking forward to it forever. I can't pass it up, but I 100% understand if you're waiting for something bigger or something with more battery. Rajveer, I have seen both of them. I have shot both of them from the 14 Pro and from the 7 Pro, and I would still choose the 7 Pro. Now, I know that's coming from a Google fan, so maybe it doesn't mean a whole lot, but the colors, the stabilization, and the HDR10, like the natural coloring of everything, just supersedes the iPhones. And at least in the area that at least at the time when I shot, it was like golden hour, and a lot of it was overexposed on the iPhone, and it did not do that at all on the Pixel. I mean, you remember the sun photo where it was above me and like none of me was out of focus and none of it was out of focus? It's like that. Deepak, actually, that's a good question. I have a Discord as of last night. I was going to create a Telegram. Oh wait, you guys use Discord isn't US only, right? I've never even considered that, to be honest. I just know like Discord has an integration into YouTube, so like members, if somebody becomes like a member of my channel and wants to like pay the $5 and get like the perks and stuff, then they're automatically shared the Discord. And that's way easier than having to go through every night and like manually add everybody, you know what I mean? So I actually just decided to use Discord at this point. But let me grab the link because it's not uh just for members. Members get like a little special like decal or whatever, but I mean that's it. At this point anyway. Where, hang on. Where's my share button? And oh, there we go. Invite people. There we go. I gotta make commands too. I don't understand Nightbot yet, but I want to. Oh, hey, thanks, Kingdom. Congratulations, you get super cool perks now. You get all the exclusive wallpapers, all shot by Pixel, all curated into an album. There is a public album. I had somebody get mad at me for this too. I do have there is a public album, and it has like 3,000 photos, but it's not curated and it's not really monitored and stuff like that. I have it because I you know, it's kind of just a little community. This one specifically that comes with the memberships is going to be like the best of those 3,000. I've already sat down going through all of them. I'm gonna go through all of them, and you know, we'll do that. Thanks so much though, man. I appreciate it. That's very kind. Rajveer, I mean, I I don't know about humble, but we'll see. I mean, I try like the whole, like I said, like that's why I'm so, it probably gets like boring hearing about it, but that's why I'm so much into like yes, I have memberships, yes, I have, you know, ways to donate and stuff like that, but it's not because I'm like I want your money. It's because I really enjoy this. I took cinematic arts at school. I've been into filmmaking. I've been making videos ever since I had a little 6.1 point and shoot video camera when I was like 13. So it's more that I really enjoy doing this stuff more so than anything else. And if I can turn it into, you know, a career, then that's awesome. But yeah, thank you so much, Kingdom Within. And now you get that super cool triangles logo next to your name. I do my best to be genuine anyway. But yeah, any other let's get into, because I really want to talk about the tablet thing. What's up, Amon? Amon's an OG. He's been here since the beginning. Not yet. Not yet. I've been told, what game would you try? Because I'm definitely gonna try Minecraft. But I've never played any of like the more intensive games. Like I don't play Call of Duty. I don't really do any of that stuff. So, what would you like to see tested? Just out of curiosity, because I'll probably use that for the review. Yeah, fresh content, man. That's the goal. That's the goal. Like legitimately, that's the whole point, is to try and kind of stir the pot a little bit. It's gotten very stagnant, I feel like, the last few years. New iPad with M2 to use iPhone apps on bigger screen. I mean, that doesn't sound wrong. Is that what happens? Oh yeah, I'll try Apex because my friend plays Apex too. Well, he plays more Fortnite, but I don't. I guess you can still get Fortnite on Android. It's just not Apple. All right, I'm adding that to my list for the review. But yeah, feel free to join the Discord if you like. I think I have to change the wording on the memberships because it says, I think it says exclusive, like you only get it if you're a member, and that's actually not true. You just get like Kingdom, when you get in there, it'll have like a standard member icon next to your name. You know what I mean? So I think I have to change the wording on there, but nice, awesome. To see, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that at least like it'll, because now that the positivity is out there and the algorithm knows that people enjoy it, now every time for that year, for this year until the 8 comes out, that's what it's going to be shown to people who are trying to buy the Pixel. So I'm really glad it happened that way. Amon says games still run 60 FPS on iPad. 1% of games run 120 frames per second on M1 iPad. What's the point? That's a fair question. I actually have a personal story with that too. Um, Let me see. No professional video editing, etc. on the iPad. Yeah, I actually the same. I agree because I had the M1 13-inch iPad Pro from AT&T, and I tried streaming Stadia on it, RIP, but I tried streaming Stadia and also using, because if you go into Twitch, you can stream like your gameplay and through the app, and you can also stream your camera. So I was like, this is an M1 processor. They've been talking it up to, to know tomorrow. It's a $1,200 tablet. This should be fine. That's why I bought it, and it didn't work. It actually ran worse than my Chromebook did. Now, obviously, my Chromebook couldn't do both, but yeah, it just I was not super impressed. So I think that Android gets a lot of hate for developers not actually like tuning the apps to the device, but it seems like that also happens with iPads. Yes, the 5S was a really good one, and the 10s Max. I still love the 10s Max. I still got it sitting around here somewhere. Oh, it's over on the bed. Rajveer, isn't Genshin Impact heaviest game? I think it is. I think it is. I just don't really know what it is. So I'm not sure if it would be worth me testing if I'm not actually like playing the game the way it should be played. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any difference. All right, I'm going to run one ad, and if you guys could tell me what kind of ad it shows, is it a full screen, non-skippable, skippable? Is it just like one of those ones that appears on the bottom of the screen? That would be really helpful because they don't really tell me. There's just a run ad button, and it doesn't tell me what kind of ad it's running. But then we will get into the iPad dock and the Pixel tablet dock. Let's see, learn more. Yeah, see, it doesn't tell me exactly what it's running. So I feel like it's a bad idea to run those. I'm still kind of playing with it though. So thanks for being patient while I learn all this stuff. I mean, are there any other what do you call it, like controversies from Twitter this week, besides the Pixel Watch battery, Pixel Watch being small, and Pixel 7 Pro getting scratches on the camera. That's all I can think of. Yeah, Tech Odyssey is pretty cool. I haven't watched him a whole lot, but I do know exactly who you're talking about. He's pretty cool. Him and Technically Speaking do a lot together. Flossie's cool. I like him. Wait, they really keep it that running that long? The 7T was really nice. Trying to keep it running until 2026. That's a lot of updates. I'm actually very impressed. I didn't know that OnePlus did that many. What's up, Stefan? Thanks for being here. How's it going, man? Roger Veer says it's the easiest game it is to test because you just have to run and the phone will be on fire. Okay. That's good to know, though. I will try that. Hang on, let me write that down too, because since it's not one I actually play in my day-to-day life, I may forget it. See you later, Scott. Thanks for being here. Thanks for chatting. Enjoy Canada. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I gotcha. Nice. Congrats, Amon. I'm glad. Running ads still seems like scummy to me, but still trying to learn about everything. Was it like a full non-skippable ad, Rajveer? Techspert too. I love Techspert. Oh no, I still play Doom. Oh, I still play Doom. I'm just too mad at Stadia, so I don't play it on there anymore because I'm gonna lose all of my achievements. Very upset about that, but that's a different topic. I now play on my PS5 because I finally got a hold of one 2 years later. And most of let me see, because I'm doing gaming stuff on my like personal. I just have like another personal channel that has like almost no subs that I stream to if I'm going to stream a game. Because I know not everybody that's into tech is into games, so. Stefan says, I just downloaded my Google Takeout from Stadia files. I don't have a PC, so I don't know if I can use it on Luna or GeForce Now. See, I'd rather just, like in mine, like Doom, I play, like Amon says, saying, like, I play Doom Eternal all the time. And I love that game. One of the best games I've ever played. And you have like a Bethesda account and everything. And I don't know why it doesn't just sync everything together. It seems like it would just make sense. But apparently for each console, like if I have a PS5 and an Xbox and Stadia and Luna, those are 4 different Doom accounts or something. I don't understand how it works. So I've got like exclusive skins from like Comic-Con 2019, and like I've got like the Archvile. You probably know it. This is the one that like and then like shoots fire. There's one's called an Ice Vial, and they made a whole custom skin where it's all ice instead of fire. It's pretty cool. Ooh, nice. No, Scott lives in Canada. Wait, I'm thinking of the right person, right? Let me go back up. I want to make sure I'm not confusing this. Oh yeah. He's from Canada. Okay, nice. Thank you, Kingdom. I appreciate it. Yes, it does help though, like buttons and all that nonsense. That does help. It helps a lot, actually. Yes, Game Pass is really cool. I do use that on my PC, but the only problem is my PC is powerful, but I can't like stream the game and, well, I can't play the game and also stream it. It has problems with that sometimes. Like even with Minecraft. I love Minecraft and I have like mods and stuff installed, so I'd love to do like a Forge Labs or like Lagundo kind of thing where they make like the 100 days videos and stuff, but I don't have enough power to stream it and also, you know what I mean, and also to have all the mods installed at the same time. So I only have like an i5. I have a nice graphics card, but it's only an i5 processor, so I think I need to upgrade some parts. I do want to try hardcore at some point too. Yes, that looks super fun. Although I'm really bad at Minecraft, so I would probably die. Stefan, yes, that's a good point. Game Pass should be on Google TV, and I feel like if anything, once Microsoft is done with this whole buying the entire world of games, and then they're gonna be like, oh yeah, for sure, yeah, you can have it on your on your platform as long as you pay. Nice, nice. Cable or Kingdom says been playing the original Fable on Xbox Game Pass and it's been awesome, very nostalgic. I'm gonna play Last of Us again. That wasn't really nostalgia for me, but I also want to play Bloodborne because I've never played that, and I also want to play Shadow of Colossus. I think Scott left Rajveer, but he let me scroll back up because we were talking about Canada earlier. Ontario. He's from Ontario. Stefan, yeah, that is very strange because isn't Azure like their own cloud platform? That's very strange to me. Yes, Apple Arcade kind of is a joke. I mean, it's more like the when they first started advertising Apple Arcade, they advertised it like it was Apple Stadia, and it was not. It's like Game Pass or not Game Pass, but like what's the thing where you pay $5 a month and you get no ads on your games in Google Play? That thing. My phone started listening to me, so it's playing music now. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I am never impressed with Amazon Web Services because my bank Chime uses Amazon Web Services, and they like completely get shut down at least like once every quarter. Now it doesn't sound like a whole lot, like once or twice a quarter, but I'm talking like middle of the day, middle of the night, evening, morning, completely random, and you can't do anything. You can't move money. You can't see your balance. You can't get money out of your an ATM. Like your hands are completely tied. So yeah, I don't know. I just never been super impressed with Amazon Web Services. Oh, is Toronto in Ontario? Okay, shows how much I know all the provinces, but that's kind of my limit for how much I know about Canada. Sorry. I mean that tracks. Yeah, I would agree that they have the worst tech between Azure and Google Cloud um, platform. but that tracks. I mean, think of everything else Amazon has done. Twitch, trash. I mean, it doesn't. The encoding is bad. They don't care about the platform. I don't know. From what I've seen with Amazon, it's just very, um, they don't take care of it very well. There's not a whole lot of soul in it. Kingdom I have not. I would love to get a PSVR for my PS5, but I have not tried VR yet. What's a good game to start with? Yeah, that's true. Amazon just loves putting stuff out there, as seen by their failure of Rings of Power. I mean, you could say the same thing about Google, that they just kind of throw stuff at the wall and see if it sticks, obviously, and then even if it does stick, then they take it down. Um, oh, okay, I have tried Beat Saber. Yeah, I have tried that. It was just super fun. My friend Tyler has a he has a, what is it, like the Quest, something like that. I do really like the boys. That is true. But that's all Eric Kripke, because he did Supernatural too. And Supernatural was incredible. At least the first 5 seasons. Um so, and he's the whole creator, and I don't know if he's the writer actually. I know he's the creator though for the boys. So I think it's more him than Amazon. But yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of like love and um like passion come out of Amazon. It's usually like, let's build it, and doesn't matter if we lose money, we'll make it somewhere else. Just give them all free echoes, like that kind of thing. Rajveer says, should I buy Pixel 7 ASAP when I land in Canada? Because my Paco X3 Pro's repairman told me to sell it ASAP. What's wrong with it? I mean, I would buy the 7, yeah. I think you'd be very happy with the 7. And depending on, mm, Best Buy is in Canada, but I'm not sure what kind of trade-ins they do for Paco phones. That's Stefan. Yes, that's what I would assume. That's what I'm gonna guess anyway. And I feel like they'll have a one more thing this year. You know what I mean? Where they'll release that, and then they'll probably do something else too, where they'll talk about some sort of new device and kind of keep the ball rolling. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so you probably can't get any traded for it then, man. I was hoping. Get it in lemongrass. It's super cool color. Stefan, yeah, see, I totally agree with that. I would pay more to have the 7 Pro. All right, well, I gotta get going pretty soon because I do have classes at 1, and I want to make sure I'm ready and stuff before then. But I also want to talk about the thing that's in the actual title. I know it's getting late for some of you guys too. Apple, as you probably have seen, let me see, there's a Apple's reportedly working on an iPad docking accessory for a 2023 release. So probably for WWDC or whatever their like early spring announcement is. And it looks very similar. I mean, obviously it's the what do you call it? The thumbnail. So obviously the thumbnail is just a mark or a mock-up by a guy on Twitter. And I just thought it looked cool. I would not be surprised if they're doing it because they have MagSafe. But I think it's really interesting how the tides are slowly turning, in that it used to be Apple does a thing and everyone else immediately copies it. And that kind of is still true. But think about the most important updates Apple has done in the last 5 or 6 years. Computational photography, which they used to not be known for. It was more the opposite, where they were known as like a DSLR camera, and then you have to edit it. Like that was like the thing for people, is like, well, yeah, it's not as good as yours, but I get to edit it myself, like that sort of attitude. So computational photography was not an Apple thing. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Computational photography was not a thing for Apple. Neither was transcription, neither was assistant, neither was any of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And now it's to the point where so many devices are either, like, Google devices have it because Google invented it. Samsung devices get it because they get Android. You know what I mean? So now it's to the point where Apple is the one kind of playing catch up a little bit, I think, because I've noticed this more than once. Even with the Pixel 3. Remember the Pixel 3 frosted glass back? And everyone was like, oh, it scratches so easy. I set it on the counter and it's already destroyed, blah, blah, blah. Like that was the thing for that year, for 2018 or whatever the year came out. And so it was the Pixel 3, the iPhone XS Max, and the Galaxy S20, I think. Guess what they all went to the year after? Frosted glass. And now everything's frosted glass, and now Google's back to glossy. So like everybody shares from each other. But I think that the tides are slowly changing, in that Google is announcing these things and these super. And the thing is, it's not just an easy thing. It's not just like, oh, well, Google did this color, so now everyone else is doing that color too. Like it happened with the green phone last year. Like iPhone did a green color and Samsung had to do a green color too. Like it's not like that. It's like these super complex camera and like AI machine learning stuff that you can't just replicate in a day. Like you can't just be like, okay, yeah, throw it in the next iPhone. Like you have to have like, you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta have like programming. You gotta have machine learning. You gotta teach these things how to do it, which I think is really interesting, because now it's more so the features, the bleeding edge features that are being pushed on Pixel phones are the ones that are leading, I think, more so than Apple just kind of leading the pack and, you know, everybody else following suit. So that's the main thing I want to talk about with this, because I think that's a really interesting concept. Because Apple doesn't even have like a smart home like ecosystem. Like they've got HomePod, and it's a really overpriced Nest Mini. You know what I mean? You can get double the sound quality out of that with the Nest Audio, and it's the same price. So I do agree. I'm hoping the next Pixel will also be frosted, because imagine if this was a frosted back. That would be so cool. That would be really cool. Roger Veer, yes. If you're going to get a Pixel 7, I would get the lemongrass, because the lemongrass, that's such a good color. I really like that. I almost got the headphones in that, actually. Ended up getting my orange boys instead. Stefan, yeah, I get exactly stuff like that. And is it fair to be like, well, Google had it first? I think partially, yes. Like Google did the work. They put the work in for that. And then they announced it on a phone 2-3 years ago. And then, you know, I don't know, like it's that like Apple kind of swoops in and is like, yeah, here you go. Like, we always had this. What are you talking about? Like that kind of thing. So I'm glad that, like, it was a little bit petty, but I'm glad Google is like, and we've had it for, you know, since 2019. I think that was kind of funny the way they did that. And it's not necessarily fair to expect that people should know that Google had it first, because the Pixel 4 was not a mainstream device. but at the same time, um, it's finally time for companies like Google or Samsung to step up and be like, hey, we had that first, and I'm not being petty. I just want you to know Apple's like stealing our thunder, even though we've had it for 3 years. You know, that kind of thing. I think that's healthy. I think that's okay. I'm just kind of, you know, setting the record straight, for what matters. You know what I mean? Kingdom, I think you'll be happy with the Hazel though, because you said you like the camera, right? Yeah. Imagine. Okay, so imagine. This is what I'm hoping. The it under display camera technology, but for Soli. So if they did the, I mean, obviously we've all seen the in display cameras, but imagine if they did that for the radar sensor. So the camera, you know, the camera opening is still there, but now we have Face ID because the Soli sensor and that other stuff can see through the screen. I feel like that's a really, really cool way to introduce that technology. I'm hoping they do some sort of variant like that. And since the Nest Hub now can track your sleep based on the Soli device, imagine putting your phone up on the Pixel stand and being able to track your sleep anywhere you are. That would be really cool. I'm very excited to see what they'll come up with that. Savon says, and definitely Apple users think everything that Apple does is brand new, but that falls on Google and Samsung to market their new. Yes, that's true, because Google and Samsung do not market their like individual features very well. So like they'll do their phone. They'll be like the new Galaxy S22, but they won't be like um car crash detection and the new S20, you know, that kind of thing. 3-day battery life, like that sort of idea. 100x zoom, like they all of these really cool features that they just don't market because they market the phone instead of the features of the phone. So I do agree with that. They do need to be more aggressive. Link is not working. I will. Hang on, let me figure that out later. Kingdom says, I also feel that the Pixel 7 Pro front-facing camera 4K 60 is second to none. Yeah, that's also true. Also considering how wide it is, I could be wrong about the newer iPhones because I haven't really had one, but I know this is a very wide selfie lens, which I really appreciate. It's wider than the 3XL too. Remember the 3XL that everybody loved because it had like the ultra wide on it? But yeah. And Google's only the first phone to record in 4K at all lenses without just using cropping. That's huge, and guarantee Apple does that next year. Yeah, either next year or the year after. They'll be like, for the first time ever in an iPhone device, record at 4K 60 on every lens, and then that'll be like the headlining feature. Like, it's like, I know I kind of tend to do like an Apple hate thing, which is kind of just like a bit on Twitter. It's not even really real Apple hate. It's just, I just think it's funny. Um, but yeah, that is a good point. And it's just really sad to me how like dynamic island and fancy notifications are literally the headlining feature of the new iPhone. It's not the camera, because the camera is 48 megapixels binned back down to 12, so like it's barely any different. It's exactly the same size, same all that stuff. If anything, you get less battery. But like, where did we go wrong to the point where iPhone is now advertising like special notifications so you feel better about yourself for having an expensive phone? You know what I mean? Like, that's so weird to me. Stefan, I actually agree about Steve Jobs being out, because he was the reason I bought all my Apple stuff. He was the reason that there was such a loyal fan base, because they liked him. Not necessarily, like, the product was good too. It was like definitely destroying the competition at the time, especially like iPhone 4S versus whatever else was out. Yeah. I mean, there were still BlackBerry reps laughing at Apple, thinking that they were going to flop because they didn't have physical buttons at the time. Like, that's where we were as a society. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, ever since Steve Jobs passed away and Tim Cook took over, it's just become this like big hype machine for very little actual content, I think. But I mean, I'm really interested in getting this. Obviously, the Pixel tablet, but I'm really interested to see what this home dock or whatever it's called is like, um, or Nest Hub something. I'm not sure what they're gonna call it, but I'm really interested in seeing what this looks like too, like in real life, and how they're gonna market it and how it's gonna actually work. I really like that, and then you don't have to worry about charging your tablet either. Oh, really? I did not know there was a lot of conspiracy around that, actually. I mean, there's conspiracy over everything. So I'm not surprised, but I actually didn't know that. I know there's the whole like thing where people think that Elvis isn't really dead and Michael Jackson isn't really dead, which I wouldn't be surprised because they had such a huge following. I mean, they couldn't go anywhere on the planet where they weren't recognized. So it wouldn't surprise me. That's actually a good point. I didn't think about the fuchsia side of it, because I still like, I know it's a whole different thing, but I'm confused at how fuchsia is better than Android. I think it's based on Linux, right? So it probably runs smoother. What's up, headphones freak? Um, it depends on how you use your phone. What do you do with your phone? If you let me think. So the difference in price is worth it. I will say that. Neither one. I have both of them at this point, which I'm very lucky lucky to have both of them. But the 6A is a really nice phone, especially for the price. But the jump you'll pay in price for the 7 Pro, I think is worth it. I think that's worth it because you'll get a much better camera. Um, it's a little hard to demonstrate just how much better it is without seeing it or using it. But you will get a better camera, and you'll get better haptics. You'll get a larger screen, a nicer screen, better mics, better all that stuff. So I think it's worth the upgrade if you value camera and actually the size of the 6A isn't that bad. So I'm not even gonna say a larger phone. What's up, Varkeys? I would trade one if I were you. I would trade one of those in for the Pixel 7, because you're kind of getting down to the wire with a Pixel 3 and a OnePlus 7. Um, and there's always a sweet spot in if you have an older device and you wait too long, it's not worth anything and you can't get any trade in or resell it. If you do it just before, then you'll at least get, you know, something for it, or you'll double what you'll make off of it, some, you know, stuff like that. Marine, thanks for being here. Welcome back. They just dropped the new base iPad. Why is my mouse dead? Wait, you're talking about like the base, like the base model, or like the HomePod base thing? Why is my mouse randomly dead? That's weird. Oh, there we go. Oh, like not even at like a like an electronics store or anything. And I gotta check this out. iPad. Lovable, drawable, magical. It's just another iPad, guys. It's not that, you know, doing too much. Let me see. Is there a... Did they release the support for it? Oh yeah, yeah. Especially if you're going through AT&T. Oh yeah, $2 a month, easy sell. But you can also get an $800 credit at AT&T with any any phone trade in, as long as it's worth $35 cash value. So iPhone 8, um, or like a Galaxy A72, any Galaxy phone, but like any S series or Note series, all that stuff. So you have a Note 4 sitting around. You trade it in, you get 800 off the 7 Pro. Let's see, Headphones Freak. I think I missed your last message. Is the Tensor 2 chip a considerable jump over Tensor 1? Thank you for replying back. Yeah, for sure. No worries. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it and the work you've been doing. And yeah, the size of the Pixel 6a is really good. Yeah, I actually, I do have really big hands, but I do prefer the size of the 6a actually. Like I've always said, if the 7, if the size of the 7 was actually the Pro, like the XL size, the size of the 6A was the size of the 7, and then the size of the 5 was the 6A, I think everybody would be a little happier actually. If we just took a step down in size. I have noticed a considerable difference with the Tensor 2 processor, more so than I would have guessed, in things like assistant responding, voice typing, translation. I live in a I work in an area with a lot of like a large Spanish population, a large Vietnamese population, and a lot of times they don't speak much English or any English. So when they come into the store, I'm using Translate, and I have noticed a big difference with the speed in which translations happen, as well as not necessarily the speed for shooting video, because I mean that's not really something you can tell, but just based on the fluidness, the transition between lenses, how good the video looks. There's no stuttering. There's none of that stuff. It's definitely a big step up. It's like if you bought like an, I don't know, like consider if you're looking at like two trucks or two cars, and one of them just has a bigger engine, like it doesn't look any different. It might not drive, you know, it might not be a completely different drive style, but you're going to tell you have more power. Sort of the same idea. Let me see. Pixel 6 versus 7. Any difference in camera output in the back? Is it hardware difference or software? I believe it's hardware because of the 48 megapixels being binned down. I don't remember off the top of my head what the differences are though, so you may have to fact check me on that. Again, I'll have this like in an actual review at some point, so I'm gonna do all my research or whatever. I just don't know off the top of my head. I know as at least the processing is much smoother. So with the 7, you actually kind of have an advantage because you don't have to have that shift between the regular lens to the telephoto lens. It just goes directly into digital, and you don't have any of that weird transitioning. So you actually kind of have a perk on the 7 for that. But I've noticed, excuse me, I've noticed a big difference on the 7 series and this versus the 6 series. Much clearer colors, especially with HDR 10-bit in both photo and video. Much clearer colors, much more true to life movements. It looks like you're actually there versus watching like a cell phone video. And then the audio took a big step up as well. Headphones asks, being an Android user, are you waiting for the S23? So kind of. I am going to do like videos and stuff. I think I'm going to do the same kind of videos I did with the Pixel on the Galaxy as well. I've never tried that. Is that some actually, if you guys don't mind answering, is that something you'd be interested in seeing? Like, would you want to see like video footage and early unboxings and stuff of the Galaxy if I'm able to do that? Am I personally looking forward to it? I've actually never been a Samsung person. There's nothing wrong with Samsung. It's just never really struck my fancy, I guess. It feels like Windows to me. And that, like, you know how like maybe you guys, maybe this is just for me, but like if you're a Mac person talking to a Windows person and you're like, yeah, I can do this, and they're like, well, you can do that on Windows too. All you have to do is do this update and download this piece of software and then change the settings and then, you know, turn a VPN on and then you can do it. Like, but I don't want to do all that stuff. I just want it to work. You know what I mean? Like that sort of idea. That's what it always feels like going to a Galaxy to me, because it's not very polished in my opinion anyway. One UI is a whole lot better than it used to be, but it still has like all those it just dumps apps on there, and like it's all, you know, paid promotions, and I don't want it on there, and I don't want to use Samsung Notes, but I can't remove it, and I have like Samsung files and Google files and Samsung Cloud, which doesn't even work in Google, you know, all that stuff. So I am looking forward to the S23 because I enjoy tech, and I'm going to enjoy like opening it and seeing the new stuff. I probably won't buy that one though, if I'm being totally honest. Plus the Galaxy cameras are usually kind of washed out, and I don't know if that's just my preference for how I like my video to look or my photos to look. The quality is good. The resolution is good on Samsung phones. It's just that usually the color science is not how I want my video to look. So again, not bad devices, and I am looking forward to like doing stuff with them. I probably won't end up buying one though, unless I get like a really good deal on it. Nice. I'm glad some of you would be interested in that. I have some planned. Rajveer, usually they announce in March, I think. Awesome. Thanks for being here, Kingdom. I really appreciate the membership too. That means a lot to me. Besties. Let me actually look at that. I haven't actually read anything about it yet. The new base iPad. So that would be, oh, interesting. Okay. So the 10th gen now has gestures, no home button. I'm not gonna lie, my favorite iPad is still the mini. I really like the mini. I think Apple's doing this really confusing thing again, where iPad mini is the smallest, but it costs more than the 9th and the 10th generation iPads. and it's only $100 less than the Air. It's super confusing how they do their lineups. Let me see what kind of processor and stuff this has. Oh, no, headphones. I do want to do the unboxing because I love unboxings, and I do really like the design of their phones. They're beautiful phones. It's just the software I end up having to, like, same thing with like the Galaxy Watch. I end up disabling half of it, and half of it I can't disable, but I want to disable, and it just frustrates me. You know what I mean? So that's why I end up not using it like as my own device, but I'm definitely going to do like unboxings and stuff as long as I have, you know, the correct permissions and all that stuff for my managers that I need. So I will do my best to do that. Well, see, this is the thing too. Listen to this, and Varghese, I'm looking up at the iPad stuff right now. I promise. But I have an opinion about. Actually, that's not a bad device. Oh, it comes in yellow. I would buy that in yellow. I'm not gonna lie. That's cool. It looks like Laffy Taffy. And it only works. Oh, are you telling me this works only with original Apple Pencil, but doesn't have a Lightning port because USB-C? Is that the deal? Because that's a very bad deal. Let me see. Yeah, USB-C port, but it pictures the old Apple Pencil with it. Why is it picturing the old Apple Pencil? Does somebody know that? You can't even charge the old, unless they made a new Apple Pencil with USB-C in the old Apple Pencil style. I do really like their focus on design and creativity, though. I really do like that. Because almost nobody else does that, you know what I mean? Like, has that focus on creation and expressive and, you know, being expressive and art. I, every time they show this pencil that's got the cap on it, and I'm pretty sure that's because it's still a connect to accessories with USB-C. Oh yeah, it's a great perk for the customer now, huh? Yeah. Except when it's not an iPhone, then it's still Lightning. Makes no sense. And the Apple Pencil they're still showing is the one with the lightning plug. I'm gonna have to go to. I'm going to Best Buy anyway today. Actually, I'm gonna have to check it out and see if they have any on display because I'm really curious what that is. So I guess Varghese, my opinion is it looks really cool. I would buy that one because I kind of want an iPad anyway. I've always had really messy handwriting. This is a dumb reason to buy an iPad, but I've had really messy handwriting because as a kid, I was taught, you know, just how to write. And then immediately I was moved over to cursive, and now I write like a combination of the two, and it looks like I'm like a 10-year-old. So I really want to, like, I know I don't have to have an iPad for this dumb reason, but I've found some like apps so you can like practice, and I really want to get much more professional looking handwriting. I didn't see anything about the processor, but I mean, I'm guessing it's probably going to be really good because Apple processors are excellent. So I wouldn't worry about at all. Honestly, my biggest question is still going to be, why are we still using the old Apple Pencil instead of the magnetic one? And what does the selfie camera look like? It's interesting they're putting it at landscape now too, because usually iPads were sold in vertical. Now it's now it looks like it's horizontal. Oops. And actually, the keyboard looks really cool. Looks really cool too. It looks pretty minimal and not big and bulky like the Pro one is. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Foldables are cool, Stefan. I agree. And headphones. Okay, this is my theory about Samsung. If you take Samsung sales, Apple sales, and whatever else you want and line it up, Samsung is going to obliterate everything else Android, right? But if you take Apple sales, which is just premium devices pretty much, and line it up with only premium Samsung devices, and then you throw in like something else, you have a much different story. Because if you take out like the A03, the A13, the A23, the A32, the A52, the A72, and then the the S21 FE and the S22 and the Plus and the all, like they've got like 15 phones they release every year. They're like $50 apart just so they hit, every single price point. So you can't not buy a Galaxy. It's not for like, the whole point of saying that is it's not necessarily for like the skill of creating a phone that a lot of people are buying a Galaxy from my experience. It's just because A, it's what's been around and it's what's there, and B, it's cheap for a lot of people. So if you take those things out, then let me see who's going to overtake something. Then I think we may have Google overtaking Samsung, but Google hasn't broken into the lower end market as well as Samsung has controlled it, if that makes sense, until the Pixel 6a, which is $2 a month, and they keep sending them to the store. Because the 5a was the same. It was like $5 a month, but we never got any in store. And they were always back ordered, and we couldn't get a hold of any, and we didn't have a demo. And like, why would you buy it then? You know what I mean? Like, for somebody who's not me that's in a store going to pitch it to people anyway, because I know it's a good device, nobody would pay attention. But there's a demo in the store now, and it's fully working in demo mode, and they send us like 6 at a time, 12 or something big, and they're $2 a month. They just fly off the shelf. So I think the more they do that, the more they could overtake Samsung potentially, but they would have to beat them in the what do you call it? Like the budget space first. Zaheen, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. AT&T does not sell unlocked phones, but if you buy the phone, like it's confusing because their financing is all monthly credits. So like $800 off the Pixel 7 Pro, for example, or off the S22 right now. The base variant, actually, Rajveer, answers your question too. The S22 costs $800. It's $799. So if you do any Galaxy, any S series, Note series trade-in, you get it for free. But it's free over 36 months because AT&T just pays for it with your bill every month for 3 years. So you can get it unlocked for sure. But if you pay it off early, you lose your credits. So essentially what you would want to do is add the phone to your plan. And actually, if I don't even know if you have AT&T actually, but I have like a link where I can help you get like discounts and stuff too. But you would want to add it to your plan or do the upgrade, not do a trade-in, and then just wait 30 days, pay it off completely, and then request the unlock, and it'll be fully unlocked. That's what I did with my 6 Pro. It's too many steps, but I mean, obviously AT&T, like as a store, we pay the same amount for a phone that you pay for it. So if you pay $1,100 for an iPhone, that's what the store paid. So we don't make any money off the devices. It's just the service, which is why it has to exist that way. Ignoring software updates. I mean, that's the biggest thing that determines whether or not it's working. Because like I have like an iPhone 6 sitting over there that technically will still turn on and work, but it's iOS 12 and it can't be activated on service anymore. You know what I mean? So like technically, yeah, it still works and like half the apps don't work. But what's up, Bacon Fries? My man. I would say it's a draw. Probably with Samsung too, actually, because if you pick up like an S8 or an S9, it's not going to have the most current software, but it's still going to work just fine. The only downside you'd have with some of these older devices, if it doesn't run voice over LTE, it's considered a 3G shutdown device, which it's not. It's dumb, but they won't let you add it. So um, the original Pixel, the iPhone 5S, and the Galaxy S7, I believe, are the three that, like, that's the cap off. That's the one that can't be activated anymore because it doesn't have voice over LTE. What's up, Dr. Shab? You're allowed to have a wrong opinion. Yes, Stefan is correct. If you're staying with a carrier, or if it's like the best in your area and you're not moving around, something like that, then it's definitely worth it because you do get it for free. It is a free device. It's not like you're actually secretly paying for it because you pay a higher amount for your data or something. Like, none of that. It is a free device. You just have to wait out the 3 years. Dr. Shahab trying to pick a fight in here. No, you actually just missed it. We were talking about the new iPad that just apparently just dropped. And it comes in like light blue and pink and yellow and white. It's all these like pastel kind of colors. Or like, it looks like clay. Super cool, actually. And it's got a really heavy focus on design. And there's a brand new keyboard and a very old Apple Pencil that can't even be charged with the device because it's Lightning and the device is USB-C, but that's besides the point. But yeah, like, we were just talking about that, and it looks like a really good tablet, actually. I may end up getting one in the future if I don't go with the mini, because I really like the size of the mini and I love the purple that it comes in, but the battery's not great. I had one for a little while and ended up returning it because I wanted to get it with LTE, and I just never got it. Stefan, yes, that's correct. And actually, it's really cool because I never understood why, but they'd be like, yeah, just do your next sub trade in and you still get $350 off. And I'd be like, how does that make sense? You're going to forgive me of my debt and also give me $350? But it's to make up for the fact that if you upgrade early, you're probably like missing out on half your trade-ins. So they usually give out, it's usually $350 for the new iPhone. For the first 2 or 3 weeks, it was $500. So yes, if you do the next up option, then you can upgrade at 18 months, or you just, upgrade whenever you want. You just have to pay up to 18 months. I'm actually not gonna lie. Pixel's portrait mode has changed. Pixel used to have incredible portrait mode, especially on like the 4 and the 3, and now it's not as good. But the lenses are different to the point, excuse me, where there's like a natural bokeh and we don't have to fake it. You know what I mean? Like, that was the whole problem with these, is that the lenses were so small and there was no ultra wide on this one, which I'm okay with. I like telephoto better because I'm into video, not photos. That you kind of had to simulate it because there was no natural depth of field. And with the newer ones, the antennas, or not antennas, I'm reading a comment. The lenses are big enough that there's actually a natural bokeh now, and we don't have to force it as much, fake it. But that also means that the AI that controls it is not as good. So I wouldn't disagree with you, but I think it's a different it's a different use case, if that makes sense. So, Dr. Chav, actually, that brings up a really interesting point too. My perspective on tablets is I agree with you that iPads are the most powerful and most expansive tablets in the world, in the way that you can do the most on them. Like, if you wanted to do GarageBand and make your own YouTube music, where are you going to find that on an Android tablet, like a Galaxy or an LG or something? It's not the same thing. Same thing with video editing. iPhone or Apple is much more focused on creating than Android is. but I think the equivalent of an iPad to an iPhone is a Chromebook, because Chromebooks run every app. They've got Steam on them now. You can play any of your Steam games. I don't use Adobe Rush because that's not actually formatted for like a large horizontal screen yet. It's still just vertical. But I use Power Director on my Chromebook. Pick my Pixelbook, obviously. But we're getting, so it's still not quite the same thing because Chromebooks are not focused on creators. It's focused on, being pushing the world of computers forward and kind of stirring the pot. But I think that that's the closest you have to an iPad iPhone relationship is a Chromebook Android phone relationship. Oh, Zaheen, I'm sorry. Wait, Pixel 7's not coming to Poland? That's random. Bacon fries. I have not heard that. I've actually had much better connection and much better battery with the 6, which is something I'm going to talk about in the review too, because I think I was having those connection issues on the 6 and I didn't know it. Because I was like, why is my service so slow lately? And I would like do a speed test and it'd be like 6 megabits per second. And it used to be like 60 to 80 with Google Fi. Yes, I'm still all Google everything. I haven't, moved over yet. But as soon as I put it in this, as soon as I got my SIM card in the 7 Pro, it's been better and I have not had that problem. So I think I was having some of those issues and that I'm going to address that in my official review. Dr. Shah, but YouTubers are also mostly Apple for Macs and for Mac Pros, desktops, stuff like that. So I'm not. So actually, hang on, let me read that again. Buy iPads for daily use, not other so-called iPads. Yeah, I think that has less to do with power and more to do with OS. Because like think of like Marquez or who's somebody that's not quite as big as like Techspert, something like that. Like you think they're gonna really edit their professional videos like on an iPad? Like they're definitely not doing work on an iPad. You know what I mean? Because any work that you can do that's not like video editing or like music production or like graphic design, something that's like intense like that, like if you're doing coding, if you're doing email, if you're doing Zoom calls, if you're doing any other level of maintenance or work, then really anything is going to work for you, because we're kind of at a place now where everything is powerful enough that it's going to work pretty well. You just got to know what you're doing sometimes, depending on like if you're trying to use like an $80 Amazon tablet, then that's probably not a good choice. But still, yeah, Stefan is 100% correct. I mean, I do this stuff, like I really enjoy creating things, and now I have a PC because I was able to invest in it, and I have a camera and I have a mic and I have all this stuff that I need. But I have spent the last 4 years since I had an original Pixelbook using a Chromebook, and I have never once not been able to do anything until I tried to stream with Streamlabs on a Chromebook, which you can download Streamlabs on a Chromebook. You can do it, but the app is just not optimized because no one, it's very rare that people are actually using it on a Chromebook, so it's not optimized. And my particular model is an M3, so I know it's not powerful enough either. But like I would stream from Stadia all the time on a Chromebook. I would video call people, obviously. I mean, that's just fine. I would live stream my camera. I would do all kinds of stuff from a Chromebook, and I've never once run into a problem. So, I mean, the Venn diagram of things you need to do and things people actually do on a computer, the middle is very, very small. So, I mean, I used to work at Best Buy as well. Like I was a computer salesman. So it was my job to get people the right computer. And obviously I'm not going to always recommend a Chromebook, But for the majority of people, between 70 and 80% of people, like college students that are like, well, I needed something really powerful because I'm going to be doing presentations. And I'd be like, what are you using? They'd be like, Word, or like, something like that. Now, obviously you got like your Microsoft suite and your Google suite differences, and that's a whole other different conversation. But the is strictly power coming from a device. Most people, probably 75-80% of people, are going to be perfectly fine with a Chromebook, and honestly they wouldn't even know the difference based on the questions I've asked people before. And actually, I mean, I don't think I have it on this one yet. I've got Streamlabs on here. I have Power Director, and I have Lightroom. So I haven't tried like Photoshop on here yet, but I do use Photoshop on my phone all the time. So obviously it's not like desktop Photoshop. I mean, we're not talking like, I'm not like I'm not a professional wedding photographer, but for what I need, I mean, it works great. Stefan, I agree. And I also think that the people leading it didn't care about it. That's a hot take probably. But I mean, have you ever seen the Stadia commercial? Have you ever seen like an end cap at Best Buy with Stadia controllers and free game cards that you get? You know what I mean? Like, when you like walk into Best Buy or like Target, and it's got like the green hanging thing, and it's got all like the game cards. You can buy a digital copy of the game in the store, like if you need like a gift or something like that, and you want a physical thing to give to the person, or that sort of idea. That's what Stadia should have done. Like, instead of giving out these controllers for free, like lower the price by half, sell them for $35, sell them for $40, whatever, and just load Best Buy with them, and then give out Destiny 2 with everything. Like that, we all know Destiny 2 was free with Stadia anyway, but everybody didn't know that because they didn't advertise it. Imagine if you could walk into a Best Buy and you could buy a Stadia controller in any color you like, and you would get Destiny 2 and you would get Outcasters for free, and it was 2 of those cards. You know what I mean? Like, think how much more better of a reputation Stadia would have had if they would have ran commercials for that. That would have been incredible. That would have been amazing. And they just didn't do it because the upper management, I think, didn't care about it. I've seen a lot of apathy from upper management in the past, and this this smells a lot like apathy from upper management. Stefania, I agree. Stakeholders are rich and they make you money, but they don't know what the people actually are invested in. And actually, I'm going to make a video on that too. I was going to shoot it today and I forgot. Imagine, so Google doesn't release full numbers for how many people were on Stadia, but based on how many accounts there were, how many Reddit followers there were, stuff like that, it's estimated that there were about 2 million. So if we took half, or probably a third actually, of the Reddit, excuse me, the Reddit Stadia community subs, that would be 50,000 people. If 50,000 people all joined up in a Kickstarter campaign and each donated $20, that's $1 million. Imagine if we were like, okay, we're going to start a Kickstarter campaign and we're going to raise $1 million, and we're going to present it to Google and be like, keep Stadia open. We want this. We will pay for this. Keep it open. I feel like, that might light a fire under the Stadia team, who also doesn't want this to die. I don't know. Maybe that's just reaching too much, but I want to make that video. I think that would be really, really cool. And I really don't want Stadia to end, because I spent a lot of money on Stadia and I don't really want it back. I want Stadia to keep going. You know what I mean? And it's not that it wasn't making money, as far as I know. I mean, they had developer teams, they had developers currently developing games, they had like all kinds of deals. Like, you're telling me that like we were talking about the cloud services before, you're telling me in all of Google Cloud services, they couldn't find enough money to like partition that one Stadia room or whatever it is. I'm sure it's bigger than a room. I don't quite understand it, but you're telling me they couldn't find enough money to do that. Like, there's just no way. So that tells me that somebody just was bored or somebody just didn't like it. And if they get enough pushback, they probably will recant and we might be able to get them to stay, which I think would be really cool. So I'm gonna make like a little video about that and then post it on Twitter, and I'm gonna tag Stadia and see if I can get them to watch it. I'm gonna tag Nerf Report, see if I can get some hype going. That would be really cool. I have low hopes. I don't think it'll actually work, but I think it would be really cool. So, but anyway, I really appreciate everybody being here. Dr. Schaub, I know you're trolling, but I appreciate you being here. I'm up for a debate any day. I appreciate I wish that's the one thing. Twitch tells you who donated at the top, and I always forget who sent the money. Kingdom Within, thank you so much for the $10 and the membership. That's very, very generous, very kind. Actually, I think he may have left at this point, but yeah, I got to get to class pretty soon. I got to get some like shopping and some other stuff done today, so I'm gonna go out, and it looks sunny from where you are, but it's actually kind of cold out today. It's like 50, so I'm gonna go get some stuff done. I appreciate everybody being here. I really appreciate it. We got 300 views already. But yeah, Stefan, thanks for hanging around. Bacon Fries, thanks for hanging around. Also, Bacon Fries, I think I'm going to, so when I started Patreon, I wasn't monetized yet. And I think I'm going to, instead of using Patreon, I'm just going to use YouTube memberships. It's just way easier to keep it all in the same place, just so you know. So, because I don't want you to miss out on like, that's like, I had a message last night and be like, hey, can you send me your info so I can send this stuff to you? I don't want to forget. So I think I may do that, just FYI. You guys too. Thank you for being here. I've seen so many repeat faces, and I really enjoy talking with you guys. Keep an eye out. I think I may stream again on Friday, and I may switch it to morning instead of evening. So yeah, keep an eye out. I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you later.